On a rainy and overcast Sunday afternoon, we welcome you to Waterbury, Connecticut as the Post Eagles eye a series sweep over the Georgian Court Lions in the CACC opening series. Thanks for joining me on the CACC Network. I'm Matt Scalzo. I'm delighted to have you with me for today's doubleheader. The Eagles swept the Lions in yesterday's doubleheader in New Jersey, taking game 1 14-4 and game 2 5-4 in 7 innings. Post now returns to Waterbury Municipal Stadium for the home opener as well in today's doubleheader. And they're looking to start the season a perfect 4-0 in conference play. Getting the ball today, Joe Cristiana. A graduate student right-handed pitcher sets on the bump, and coming into the box is Carter Reben, the shortstop for Georgian Court. He kicks and deals, and the first pitch is sliced down the first base side and foul. First pitch coming at an even 12 o'clock local time, 57 degrees and cloudy on first pitch. Second pitch comes in and hits Reben right on the shoulder. So he will head down to first base on a free pass on the hit by pitch. Not the start that Cristiana was hoping for. That brings up Frank Mara, the second baseman. Looking at Cristiana on the season, his third start of the year and his ERA is over 17. Going on the first pitch is Reben. The throw down pulls the second baseman Vega off the bag and in safely with a stolen base as Reben. He's quickly into scoring position. On his fourth stolen base of the 2025 season. 1-0. Bunt popped up. Cristiana could not get there. He overruns the ball, and he has no throw over to first. Reben holds at second, and Frank Mara now over at first on the bunt. Brings up Alex Elliott, the right fielder. Cristiana this season, he was coming off a stellar 2024 campaign, was first team All-CACC, second team All-Region, but he has not had his best stuff in his 2 appearances this year, coming off his 1 2/3 innings against Bentley in his last appearance back on the 4th of March. Deals a first pitch strike on the outside corner to Alex Elliott. In those 1 2/3 innings of work, he gave up 7 runs on 5 hits. Walked 4, struck out 3. He also surrendered 3 home runs in that last appearance. 0-1 is a touch above the zone. And the count moves to 1-1. As for Elliott, comes in starting his 10th game of the year, batting .324, has 8 RBIs this season. Sends a chopper, second base side. Vega slides, fires to second for 1. They get Mara out there. Advancing over to third goes Reben, and Elliott reaches on a fielder's choice. Runners on the corners with 1 gone for Sammy Cruz, the first baseman. A .381 hitter. Just has 2 RBIs this year. Has a chance to get his third and put the Lions in front in the top of the first inning. Cristiana deals a first pitch strike. We'll dive into the rest of the post-defensive alignment and batting order for Georgian Court as this one moves along. A snap throw to first. Sees Elliott die back in time. Looking in the post defense, Damaris Rodriguez camps out in center field with Dario Sosa flanking in right and Hayden Roberg in left. The 0-1 painted outside for a called strike 2. Michael Cardona occupies first. Renee Vega's at second. And Jesse Alfala is at short with Justin Rivera holding down the hot corner. Catcher is Eric Perez. As another throw over to first. As Elliott dive back in ahead of the tag. The 0-2 is high. Cruz coming off a 3-for-5 day yesterday in the 2 doubleheaders. Went 2 for 3 in game 1, 1 for 2 in game number 2. Catches a piece of a high fastball on the 1-2. Hit and run was on as Elliott was going.
This is a backup in case that doesn't work out there for some reason. So 3, three don't need to touch it unless you see that go out, then touch 3. Okay. Because then we'll need to be able to see the pitch, but that looks really good. Yeah. So just 1 and 2. And then 2 is on what side? 2 is his. 2 is Jarrett's. So that's the one falling to play.
The 1-2 high and inside, 2-2. Georgian Court looking to strike first for the second consecutive game. They jumped ahead 2-0 in game number 2. Eventually fell 5-4. The 2-2. Cruz, a chopper back up the middle. Vega flips to second for 1. The fire on to first is not in time. Cardona dragged his foot off the bag on the trying to stretch out to get the throw from Alfala. And coming in to score is Reben to make it 1-0 Georgian Court. It was a picture-perfect double play ball for the post defense. But Cruz gets lucky with Cardona getting pulled off the bag. And that brings up Tomas Tarmoga. A .417 hitter swings on the first pitch. Vega's had a busy first inning. He fields another, fires on the first, and the inning is over. But Georgian Court strikes first on the fielder's choice from Sammy Cruz that brings in Carter Reben. We'll go to the bottom of the first where we'll get our first look at the post bats when we come back on the CACC Network. Welcome back to Waterbury Municipal Stadium, bottom of the first inning. Georgian Court with a 1-0 lead after a fielder's choice from Sammy Cruz that brought in Carter Reben. The Lions are in front 1-0. Gives Ryan Bolello, the starting pitcher for Georgian Court, a lead in his first inning of work. He makes another start on the year and deals a first pitch ball to Jesse Alfala. The shortstop for Post. The 1-0 from Bolello. Catches the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Looking at the rest of the Post order, Damaris Rodriguez, the center fielder, bats second. Hayden Roberg due up in the 3 spot. The 1-1. Cut on and missed from Alfala, and it's 1-2. Justin Rivera bats in the cleanup spot with Maiko Cardona, the first baseman, batting 5th. The 1-2. Hit on the ground, a diving stop by the shortstop, and then a high throw goes over the head of Cruz and off the backstop back into play. So Alfala will reach on what should go down as an error. Well, they actually charge it with a hit. I can see that. Tough play for shortstop Carter Reben. And Alfala has a leadoff single to begin the bottom of the first. That brings up Damaris Rodriguez. First pitch is in for a strike. The rest of the batting order has Jalen Kelly batting 6th, the designated hitter. Eric Perez, the catcher, bats 7th. Dario Sosa, batting 8th. And playing in right with Rene Vega, rounding things out, the second baseman in the 9-hole. That is slapped foul by Damaris Rodriguez, the center fielder for Post. He's batting .333 on the season. Here comes the 0-2. That is in the dirt, and it's 1-2. Looking at Bolello on the season, he's 0-2 in his 4 starts, has gone 10 innings, giving up 12 runs, 10 of them earned on 14 hits, has 3 strikeouts to 9 walks. Opponents are batting .359 against the lefty, as that one is roped into left field by Rodriguez. And back-to-back base knocks from the Eagles has runners on first and second with nobody out in the bottom of the first. We'll take a look at the Georgian Court defensive alignment. Larry Rodriguez is out in center. He's flanked in right by Alex Elliott and in left by Tomas Tarmoga. Sammy Cruz has first base with Frank Mara at second. Carter Reben is the shortstop, and Oliver Santana mans the hot corner at third. Israel Garcia completes the battery with Bolello. First pitch, a called strike to Hayden Roberg. The left fielder is leading this Post team in average, hitting .361 on the season. Jammed inside, and he squeaks one to Cruz, who dives at first to make the stop. He flips to Bolello, who wins the race for the bag for out number 1. Advancing 90 feet goes Alfala and Rodriguez, putting both runners in the scoring position with one gone. That brings up Justin Rivera, who had a very good day yesterday in the doubleheader. 6 for 10, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs with 3 doubles. First pitch, a called strike on the outside corner to Rivera, who's batting .464 on the season. A home run and 9 RBIs through 7 games. Takes ball 1 outside, and count evens at 1-1 with 1 gone. Rivera is senior out of Clifton, New Jersey. Transferred in from Bloomfield College, a fellow CACC opponent. 1-1. Rivera sends a sky-high pop-up in right center field. Coming over from right field to make the catch is Alex Elliott. Tagging in, coming in to score comes Alfala, and we are tied up at 1 on the sacrifice fly from Justin Rivera. Gives him his 10th RBI on the season. That leads the way for Post, and we're evened at 1. Also motoring over to third goes Rodriguez. And the go-ahead run 90 feet away with 2 gone. And Michael Cardona comes up to bat, fouls off the first pitch, and it's 0-1. That misses, and it's 1-1. Cardona yesterday in the doubleheader was 3 for 9 with 2 RBIs. Currently riding a 6-game hitting streak. The 1-1. Misses off the plate, 2-1. Overall in the season, a .333 average with 4 RBIs for Cardona. The 2-1. High and outside, 3-1 now to Cardona. Standing on deck is the designated hitter, Jalen Kelly. Damaris Rodriguez ready to come home on anything put into play. The 3-1, fouled off by Cardona. Count runs full with 2 gone. A payoff pitch from Bolello. And Cardona sends one into straightaway center. Rodriguez moves back, makes the catch, and the inning is over, but Post able to even it on the sacrifice fly from Rivera. Rodriguez is stranded 90 feet away, and we head into the second, even at 1 on the CACC network. Welcome back to Waterbury Municipal Stadium into the top of the second on the CACC network. If you're just joining me, Matt Scalzo, glad you could make me a part of your Sunday afternoon. It's game 1 of 2 between Post and Georgian Court. Post took yesterday's doubleheader down in New Jersey, 14-4 in game 1 and 5-4 in game 2. As back on the bump comes Joe Cristiano. And he deals a first pitch ball. Misses off the plate to Israel Garcia, the catcher for Georgian Court, who's rocking the all-blue road uniforms. Post in the home whites with orange cap. The 1-1. Popped up and out of play by Garcia. Garcia batting .407 with 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. He leads Georgian Court in both of those categories. A 1-2 up towards the chest, and it's a defensive check swing from Garcia. Fights it off and keeps the count at 1-2. The 1-2. And Garcia, another foul ball. Continues to fight against Joe Cristiana, excuse me. Another foul ball on a 1-2 to Garcia. Garcia went 4 for 6 in yesterday's doubleheader with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Lays off the 1-2 breaking ball in the dirt. And count evens at 2-2. He's second in the CACC in terms of slugging percentage this season as he cranks a 2-2 fly ball to center, and Rodriguez comes on to make the catch and retire Garcia for out number 1 in the top of the second. Hands it off to Joshua Moreno, the designated hitter. Due up after Moreno was Larry Rodriguez, center fielder for Georgian Court, and if it gets any further, it will be the 9-hitter in Oliver Santana, the third baseman, before it returns to the top of the order with Carter Reben. First pitch off the mark on the outer part of the plate to Moreno. The Georgian Court DH batting .304 through 9 games this season, 7 RBIs. A non-base percentage above .400. He's quickly ahead, 2-0. They say comebacker hits Cristiano. Picks it up, fires on to first, and it is in time for out number 1. And he is shaken up as he should be, not really able to put any weight on that left knee. I don't think he realized it initially with the adrenaline. Credit to him to make that play and get out number 2. But pitching has been a struggle for Post this season. They would not want to lose their starter this early in game 1, especially with a doubleheader looming. And he continues to walk around and try and become comfortable with that left leg. That was a hard hit ground ball from Moreno, with a visible or an audible smack against the leg of Cristiana. And we'll get a couple warm-up pitches, see how he's feeling. Seems to be all right. Out there with them is Ray Skold, the head coach for Post, along with pitching coach Brian Looney. And the athletic trainer as well. So no Brian Looney. It's the athletic trainer and Ray Skold to check on the starting pitcher, and he is A-OK. So Larry Rodriguez steps in, the center fielder. First pitch swinging, and he foul tips it into the catching mitt of Eric Perez. Cristiano looking for a 1-2-3 top of the second. Misses on the 0-1. 1-1 is outside to Rodriguez. Rodriguez has struggled this year. An .091 hitter. He is 3 for 32. Just trying to get something going. And of course, this Georgian court team, it is their first year in the CACC, first year as a varsity program. The 2-2 cut on and missed by Rodriguez. Christiana gets his first strikeout of the afternoon and bounces back from that comebacker with a 1-2-3 top of the second inning. We head to the bottom half where Post will have 6, 7, and 8 due up when we come back on the CACC network. Welcome back to Waterbury Municipal Stadium, bottom of the second inning. 1-1 the score between Post and Georgian Court in Game 1 of today's Sunday doubleheader. Matt Scalzo with you. Glad you could make me a part of your Sunday afternoon. Post looking to sweep Georgian Court this weekend. Took both games in yesterday's doubleheader down in New Jersey. And a first pitch strike is dealt in by Ryan Bolello to Jalen Kelly, the DH for Post. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Eagles in the bottom of the second. Kelly sends a high pop-up towards right field. Alex Elliott moves in and makes the catch for out number 1. Both pitchers dealt with some traffic on the base paths in the first inning. Both teams bringing a run across. Carter Reben for Georgian Court scored on a fielder's choice off the bat of Sammy Cruz, while Justin Rivera brought in Jesse Alfala on a sacrifice fly in the bottom of the first. And at the top of the second, Joe Christiana answered back with a 1-2-3 inning, including a comebacker that hammered off his left leg, and he stayed in, battled through it. Now looking to return the favor is Ryan Bolello, the lefty pitcher for Georgian Court, on a 1-1 pop-up that goes out of play. It is Eric Perez up to bat, the catcher for Post. An even 200 hitter through 8 games this season.
Like when you switch it to the batter, because he's showing the batter on each thing.
He went 2 for 5 yesterday in the doubleheader, had 3 RBIs, including a home run, but he goes down looking on a painted fastball on the outside corner, and it's the first strikeout of the afternoon for Ryan Bolello, and there's 2 gone in the bottom of the second.
Like right now, if you have that right, the lower thirds, and then you use that side count.
And it brings up Dario Sosa, the right fielder for Post. First pitch misses low from Bolello. For Sosa this season, hitting .208. This is his 8th game, 7th start of the year. He has a home run and 6 RBIs. goes fishing on the 1-0, and the count is evened at 1-1. Sosa has struggled to get on base, just 192 in terms of his on-base percentage, as he sends the 1-1 foul down the first base side. And Bolello, one strike away from getting his own 1-2-3 inning in this second. The 1-2. Sosa fights it off, just catching a piece of it with the end of the bat. Keeps the count at 1-2 with 2 gone. Rene Vega, the 9-hitter, sits on deck if this inning advances any further. The 1-2 is high from Bolello, and Sosa evens the count to 2-2 with 2 away. The 2-2 when Sosa grounds one foul, third base side. Count stays where it is. This is definitely already a better appearance for Bolello than what he had last time out on the 11th of March against Bentley. 2-2, swing and a miss. Sosa down on strikes, couldn't catch up to the high heat, and it's back-to-back Ks for Ryan Bolello to end the second. We head to the third, knotted up at 1 on the CACC network. Top of the third inning on the CACC network, 1-1 the score between Georgian Court and Post here at Waterbury Municipal Stadium on this overcast Sunday afternoon. Game 1 of 2 between the Lions and the Eagles. First pitch in for a call and strike 1 to Oliver Santana. Joe Cristiana still out there on the mound. Had a 1-2-3 top of the second inning, ending with his first strikeout of the afternoon as Santana sends one in the air, foul ground left field. Moving over and making a sliding grab is Hayden Roberg, and there is one gone in the top of the third inning. And it's back to the top of the order with Carter Reben, who reached on a hit by pitch, stole a base, and then came in to score on the fielder's choice off the bat of Sammy Cruz. First pitch is in for a called strike 1. Reben cuts and misses on the 0-1 off speed. And Cristiano not going to get his second strikeout. 0-2, he yanks that one well off the plate. Count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 check swing from Reben. Did he go around? He did not. It was a peel down to first base umpire Justin Perry from Eric Perez behind home plate. Count moves to 2-2 with one gone. The pitch is high, and Reben has battled all the way back from an 0-2 count to work it full. Cristiano gets him on the foul tip, and that's strikeout number 2 for Joe Cristiano. And there are 2 away now in the top of the 3rd inning. Cristiano has retired 6 consecutive batters. He has settled in after that busy top of the 1st. As Frank Mara cuts and misses on the first pitch fastball inside. No defensive changes here as the 0-1 misses high and inside. No shift on in the infield or the outfield. The 1-1. Just a touch low from Cristiano. Maris singled back in the 1st inning, was then out on a fielder's choice from Rene Vega. A 2-1, similar spot and same result for Cristiano. Falls behind 3-1. Had a gimme strike right down the heart of the plate. Mara was taken all the way by the looks of it after Cristiano hit the zone on the first pitch and then couldn't find the zone on the next 3. Count runs full with 2 gone. Looking for back-to-back strikeouts to end the top of the 3rd. Cristiano sets and deals. This is fouled off by Mara down the first base side. This would mark 2nd consecutive 1-2-3 inning. And make it 7 consecutive batters retired. The 3-2 driven the other way into right field, and it'll drop in for a base hit in front of Dario Sosa. Stopping at first is Frank Mara, and he's 2 for 2 with a pair of base hits. Brings up Alex Elliott, the right fielder. He grounded into a fielder's choice that took out Frank Mara. And then Elliott was the one that was out on the fielder's choice from Sammy Cruz that brought in Carter Reben. Post was looking for a double play on that one, but first baseman Michael Cardona was not able to keep his foot on the bag as he stretched for the double play. This is driven out towards the right center field gap. Long run for Sosa, and he makes the backhanded grab for out number 3. What a play by Dario Sosa. A long run, and he makes a spectacular backhanded grab, losing his hat in the process. And Post will head to the bottom of the 3rd, tied at 1. Stranded on the bases is Frank Mara. Elliott was thinking he had extra bases. Sosa had other plans. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Welcome back to Waterbury Municipal Stadium. Into the bottom of the third we go. Tied at 1 between Post and Georgian Court on the CACC network. If you're just joining me, Matt Scalzo, glad you could make me a part of your Sunday afternoon. It's the front half of a doubleheader on this overcast afternoon. Game 2 will follow the conclusion of this one as Renee Vega leads off in the bottom of the third. The 9-hitter for Post takes a called strike 1 from the lefty in Ryan Bolello, who heads out for his third inning of work. Worked the 1-2-3 second with a pair of punch-outs as Vega lines this one straight to third, snagged by Santana, and there is one gone. And heads back to the top of the order with Jesse Alfala. He started the bottom of the first with a hard-hit single. And it was going to be a tough play for Carter Reben, and then he airmailed the throw. As Alfala fights off the first pitch and falls behind 0-1. For Bolello, he has retired 7 straight Post hitters after Alfala and Rodriguez, who stands on deck, reached on a pair of base hits. Alfala grounds the 0-1 foul down the third base side, and he's in an 0-2 hole. Alfala came in to score on the sacrifice fly from Justin Rivera. Tied it up at 1. And he takes the 0-2 upstairs. Count now sits at 1-2. Bolello rocks and deals. Alfala, ground ball, sharp hop, couldn't be fielded cleanly by Reben on the backhand. And Alfala will reach first on what should be an error in my book. It was very similar play to how Alfala reached in the first, but a substantially slower hit ball, and that will be an error against Reben. Puts Alfala on first with 1 gone, and swinging on the first pitch, driving it down the left field line is Damaris Rodriguez. A little deja vu in the bottom of the third, just like in the bottom of the first. It's Alfala reaching on a hard hit ball to Reben that he wasn't able to make the play on, and then Rodriguez follows him up with a base hit, puts runners on first and second with 1 gone. Of course, in the bottom of the first, there was nobody out. But point still stands, and a chance here for Post to jump in front against Georgian Court. First pitch breaking ball in the zone from Bolello to Hayden Roberg, who grounded out on a 3-1 putout. It was a diving stop by Sammy Cruz over at first, and Bolello charging off the mound, able to get over there in time as Roberg foul tips the 0-1 and falls behind in an 0-2 count. The 0-2 to Roberg, and he fights it off. Keeps the count at 0-2 with 1 gone. Bolello having a bounce-back start after his last one against Bentley on March 11th. He didn't record a single out. That one in the dirt. Garcia picks it up, fires on to third. It is not in time. The speed from Alfala, too much. Couldn't corral the pitch in the dirt from Bolello, and both Alfala and Rodriguez advancing 90 feet into scoring position. Dangerous play for Jesse Alfala, but that is all instincts on that reaction. Seeing Garcia lose it and has enough speed to get in there. As just nubbing this one down the first base side is Roberg. He is not able to avoid the tag, but coming in to score is Alfala. And Post has its first lead of the afternoon on a Hayden Roberg fielder's choice. He picks up the RBI, and Post is in front 2-1 in the bottom of the third inning. Going over to third is Rodriguez. And now Justin Rivera comes up. Rivera had the sacrifice fly in the bottom of the first, which brought in Alfala for the Eagles' first run of the afternoon. Now he looks to give them a multi-run lead with Rodriguez 90 feet away. He takes the 1-0 high, and it's 2-0. But as I was talking about, for Bolello, no outs in his last appearance on the 11th of March against Bentley. Gave up 7 runs, all of them earned on 5 hits with 2 walks and no strikeouts. Answers back with a called strike on the outside corner against Rivera. Works the count to 2-1. Rivera has been red hot over the last 5 games. He is batting .500, has 8 RBIs with a home run, 3 walks. There's 1 strikeout. 2-1, Rivera, chopper, third base side, and it is foul. At the very last moment, it skittered to the left of the bag. And Brian Driscoll, the third base umpire, making the signal. Justin Perry's over at first, and Patrick Burns is calling balls and strikes behind home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch, high. Count runs full with Rodriguez standing over at third. Michael Cardona stands on deck for the Eagles. The payoff pitch from Bolello misses high and outside, and Rivera works a 2-out walk to put runners on the corners. Cardona flew out to center his last time up. Went 3 for 9 in yesterday's doubleheader with a pair of RBIs. He's 7 for his last 24. Swings on the first pitch, flies it out towards right. Elliott doesn't have to move a lot, and he makes the catch for out number 3. And Cardona strands a couple of base runners on for post, but the Eagles jump in front on the RBI ground out from Hayden Roberg. It's 2-1 Eagles as we head into the middle 3 innings here on the CACC Network. Welcome back to Waterbury Municipal Stadium. Top of the 4th inning. Post has taken its first lead of the afternoon on an RBI groundout from Hayden Roberg that brought in Jesse Alfala. And it's 2-1 Eagles as we head into the 4th inning. Joe Cristiana back out there on the mound, heading into his 4th inning of work. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Georgian Court. First pitch, Sammy Cruz lifts it in the air, right center field. Sosa moves over into the gap, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Dario Sosa with back-to-back putouts. He ended the top of the 3rd with a phenomenal backhanded play. Long run into the right center field gap and caught Alex Elliott's deep fly on the backhand to end the inning. Took away extra bases from Elliott and potentially a go-ahead run from Frank Mara. Stepping into the box is Tomas Tarmoga. And he moves ahead 2-0. As Christiana couldn't find the zone. Tarmoga rocking no batting gloves. Pitch comes in, and that misses off the plate as well. He's got the long sleeves going, but still no gloves, even in the rain, the cold. When you make contact, those can really sting, especially if it comes inside. As Christiana answers in with a fastball to get the count to 3-1. He rocks and deals as Tarmoga will foul that one back. Count runs full. Christiana working backwards in this at-bat. The payoff pitch. Tarmoga down the line and left, and it drops in for a foul ball, they call it. That was close down the line. Brian Driscoll over at third. Back-to-back innings for Driscoll where he's had to make those tough calls down the line. Had a ground ball that off the bat of Justin Rivera in the bottom of the third that just bounced foul of the third base bag at the very last moment as Tarmoga lifts this one deep right field. Sosa goes back, and he's able to make the catch in front of the warning track for out number 2. Dario Sosa seems to have some sort of pull right now. Last 3 Georgian court batters that have been retired have all gone out on flyouts to Sosa and right. As Israel Garcia, the catcher, steps in the box. He flew out to center his last time up. He's 0 for 1. Swings on a first pitch. Pokes it foul down the right field line. The 0-1. Garcia sends it in the air, shallow left, charging in and not being able to come up with the catch is Hayden Roberg, and Garcia picks up a 2-out base hit on a blooper to left field. Got up in the air and then started dropping very quickly. Roberg was not able to charge in time against one of the best power hitters in the CACC. Snap throw to first from Christiana. Sees Garcia dive back in. No tag applied by Cardona. Joshua Moreno now steps into the lefty's batter's box, and he fouls off the first pitch. The 0-1. Outside, and it's 1-1.
If there's like a pickoff attempt, so I just leave it at the normal camera because like it's too fast for like there with the start.
Here comes the 1-1. Chopper back up the middle. Cristiano Fields flips to first, and the inning is over on a 1-3 putout as the Eagles able to avoid any 2-out rallies after the base hit from Garcia. We head to the bottom of the 4th, Post in front, 2-1 on the CACC network. Welcome back to Waterbury Municipal Stadium, bottom of the fourth inning between Post and Georgian Court in game 1 of 2 on this Sunday afternoon doubleheader in the opening series of CACC play. Post took both games yesterday down in New Jersey at Georgian Court, and now they're looking to take both and improve to 4-0 in conference play. Of course, they got to get through this one first to even be thinking about a weekend sweep. As Jalen Walker sets in the box, swings on an 0-1, sends a deep fly ball left field, sends Tarmoga back to the wall. He looks up and he'll watch it fly. It's gone. A solo home run from Jalen Kelly to open up the bottom of the fourth. And Post adds another run to its lead. It's 3-1. Kelly's first big fly of the season. He's met by his teammates as he comes around home plate. That one got up in a hurry and got out in a hurry as well. A solo home run for Jalen Kelly makes it 3-1 Eagles. Here comes the 1-0. That is outside and 2-0 now to Eric Perez.
You got it. So you can show that at the end of the. That cut perfectly too, like perfect amount of time.
Here comes the 2-0. That is high to Perez, and it's 3-0. Ryan Bolello had a relatively clean first 3 innings of work. Of course, until Jesse Alfalo got on base, he's a tough guy to handle. As the 3-0 is in there for a called strike, Perez was taken all the way. And the count sits at 3-1 with nobody out. And that is a called strike on the outside corner. Perez tossed his bat, thought that was going to be ball 4. Now he'll have to settle back in the box. Got to be careful with those. Anything close here, likely going to be a called strike as Perez fights off the fastball and keeps the count full. You know, when an umpire sees that, you don't want to say that the zone widens after they see a batter toss the bat thinking it's a walk, but it's definitely in their mind as the 3-2. Chop foul third base side. I mean, when I was an umpire, definitely the thought crossed my mind of maybe I widen this zone just an inch or two. And that 3-2, again, Perez fights it off. Three straight foul balls from Eric Perez. The payoff pitch. This is driven in the air. Shallow left field. Tarmoga moves in. He makes the catch for out number 1. Brings up the 8-hitter in Dario Sosa, who has had a busy day defensively thus far. Comes up for the second time in this one. Struck out back in the second. It was the second punch out for Bolello, and has not had one since. High breaking ball misses upstairs, and it's 1-0 to Sosa. Sosa lays off the 1-0 fastball outside and works ahead 2-0. Sosa went 1 for 6 yesterday in the doubleheader, but had 4 RBIs, highlighted by a 3-run home run. And he takes a big hack on the 2-0. That was a home run level swing, and he came up empty. 2-1, 1 gone. Bolello rocks and deals. Sosa, hard hit liner up the middle. That'll be down for a base hit, dropping in front of Rodriguez. And Sosa is aboard with a one-out base hit. And that's good to see for Dario Sosa. He's had the RBIs, but he hasn't had as many hits. Over his last 5 games, he is 2 for 15, but has 6 RBIs. Of course, highlighted by that 3-run home run yesterday that I alluded to. Also had a sacrifice fly. First pitch in the dirt to Rene Vega. Garcia does a good job to block it, and Sosa holds over at first. Vega, the 9-hitter, 3 for 7 yesterday, a couple of RBIs. Chops one foul down the third base side, and it's 1-1. Double play depth up the middle for the middle infield for Georgian Court, with Frank Mara at second and Carter Reben at short. Third baseman Oliver Santana creeping in towards the infield grass. The 1-1. Called strike on the inside corner to Vega, who moved off the plate as that one was brushing inside, but just caught enough of the inner half. And Bolello ahead 1-2. Vega jammed inside, and he sends a blooper into left field for a base hit. A good 2-strike approach from Rene Vega. Bolello went back to that inner corner that he had gotten the previous called strike on. Vega was expecting it, choked up on the bat a little, and kept his hands inside. Just able to get enough on it to lift it out towards left field. And it sets the table now for the top of the order with Jesse Alfala, who has reached base both times today. Fouls off the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Singled and scored in the first, then reached on an error in the third, and eventually came to score on the RBI ground out from Hayden Roberg. The 0-1 is low, and it's 1-1. This inning started on a solo home run from Jalen Kelly. Eric Perez flew out to left, and then it was Sosa and now Vega with back-to-back base hits. Brings up Alfala, the 1-1. Is high. 2-1 with one gone. Bolello had dealt with relatively clean innings, per se. He had a good bounce-back second and looked to settle into a groove before that error by Reben put Alfala on base, and he eventually came to score to give Post the lead. Now Alfala looking to add on to this 2-run advantage. The 3-1. Called strike right at the bottom of the zone. Sosa at second, Vega at first. Payoff pitch. Outside. Alfala works the 1-out walk, and the bases are juiced for Damaris Rodriguez, who is 2 for 2 today, a pair of base hits. And smartly, a mound visit being used by Israel Garcia, coming out to talk to his pitcher. Bolello dealing with the most base runners he's had on in an inning. Has mainly just had to deal with Alfala and Rodriguez on the base paths. But now he's got Sosa over at third, Vega at second, and Alfala at first. A whole lot of speed for Damaris Rodriguez as he comes up to bat. Corners are in. First pitch swing, ground ball up the middle. Reben flips to second for one. The throw on to first is in time. Exactly what Bolello was looking for. A 6-4-3 double play executed to perfection, and he escapes the inning with just 1 run allowed on a solo home run from Jalen Kelly. His first home run of the season. We head to the 5th. It's Post 3, Georgian Court 1 on the CACC Network. Top of the fifth inning, it's 3-1 Post after a solo home run from Jalen Kelly added to the advantage for the Eagles in the bottom of the fourth. They were looking for more, had the bases loaded with one gone, but Ryan Bolello forcing a ground out from Damaris Rodriguez that turned into a 6-4-3 double play, ended the inning, and Georgian Court able to stay within arm's length. No crooked numbers given up thus far. Just a single tally in the first, third, and fourth from Post. The Lions got their run in the first inning on an RBI ground out from Sammy Cruz. As leading off in the top of the fifth is Larry Rodriguez. Fought the 1-0 off, and count is evened at 1-1. Third baseman Rivera creeped in on the infield grass after Rodriguez showed bunt on the first offering from Joe Christiana, who is in his fifth inning of work. 2-1, brushes inside with some chin music. Ducking out of the way goes Rodriguez, and it's 3-1. Pitch comes in, and that is clipped back to the fence behind home plate. Full count. Christiana, 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run allowed, a couple of strikeouts, no walks thus far, as that is jammed inside and lifted out towards center. Charging in and making the catch is Damaris Rodriguez, and he retires Larry Rodriguez for out number 1. Christiana has now gone as furthest he's gone in any game this season. Went 4 in his first outing of the year on February 21st against Mercy down in Florida. Gave up 4 runs on 8 hits in 4 innings. Also struck out 6 in that outing. And against Bentley on the 4th, his last outing, 1 2/3, 7 runs allowed, all of them earned on 5 hits with 3 strikeouts and 4 walks. Oliver Santana set in the box now. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out to left. A 2-1. Called strike on the outer half, and it's 2-2 to Santana. Christiana was a first-team all-conference pitcher last year, had a 3.27 ERA and a 7-1 mark on the year overall. 2-2 goes back to the outside, and this just a touch off the plate. Count runs to 3-2. So this is the Christiana that Post is used to seeing. And there's strikeout number 3. Worked outside and then flips back inside towards Santana. And there's 2 gone in the top of the 5th inning. Back to the top of the order with Carter Reben. He's 0 for 1 with a run scored. Was hit by a pitch to lead off the game in the first inning. Came in to score on an RBI ground out from Sammy Cruz. And then struck out his last time up. He fouls off the first pitch from Christiana, and it's 0-1. That's a ground ball towards second base. Vega scoops it up, fires to first. Stretch from Cardona. He's able to hold on, keep the foot on the bag, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3, top of the 5th from Joe Christiana. We head to the bottom half. Post up, 3-1 over Georgian Court. We're halfway through game 1 of 2 on this Sunday afternoon in the opening series of the CACC season. Post up 3-1. They added to its lead in the bottom of the fourth on a solo home run from Jalen Kelly. They're looking for more here in the bottom of the fifth after Joe Cristiano worked a 1-2-3 top half. Ryan Bolello sets back out on the mound for his fifth inning of work. He deals the first pitch ball in the dirt to Hayden Roberg, leading off here in the bottom half of the fifth. If you're just joining me, Matt Scalzo, glad you can make me a part of your Sunday afternoon. The day started with some fog and some rain, and it has cleared up into an overcast day. Currently sits at 59 degrees for the home opener for Post. 1-0 from Roberg. Roped into left field, splitting through the 5-6 hole on the left side of the infield. And Hayden Roberg leads off with a base hit in the bottom of the fifth. Picked up an RBI his last time up on a ground out. Brought in Jesse Alfalla and gave Post the lead in the bottom of the fifth. And now the middle part of this Post order, trying to add some insurance runs. 3, 4, and 5 due up at the very least today in this bottom of the fifth inning as Rivera takes the first pitch strike at the knees from Bolello. Justin Rivera is 0 for 1. Had a sacrifice fly, picked up an RBI in the first. There he sends this one into left. Tarmoga had a tough time picking it up at first, and then is able to come on and make the catch for out number 1. And now Maiko Cardona steps in 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts, one to center and the other to right. Roberg with a small lead over at first. The first pitch from Bolello is down in the dirt for ball 1. Roberg 0 for 2 on stolen bases this season. The 1-0. This is shot the other way towards right. Elliott moves in, makes the catch, and there are 2 gone as Cardona now falls 0 for 3 on the day. And now here is Jalen Kelly, 1 for 2 in his last time up. And the second pitch of the bottom of the fourth inning crushed a ball over the left field wall for his first big fly of the season. He was looking for a big swing on the first pitch from Bolello. Foul tipped off the bat of Kelly. Bolello looking to go 5 innings. Sits at 82 pitches currently. 0-1. Breaking ball is off the mark, and it's 1-1. Seven hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned with 2 punch-outs and a pair of walks for Bolello so far. 1-1 misses upstairs to Kelly. Roberg over at first after a leadoff base hit in the bottom of the fifth. The 2-1 fastball is high and outside. Makes it 3-1. The 3-1. Kelly turns on it, drives it out deep towards center field. Charging back is Rodriguez, and he will make the catch for out number 3. So Roberg reached on a single to start the fifth, and then 3 consecutive flyouts to all 3 outfield positions forced by Bolello sends us into the 6th. It's Post 3, Georgian Court 1 on the CACC Network. Into the top of the 6th inning we go from Waterbury Municipal Stadium here on a sunny, an overcast Sunday afternoon. Lights have flickered on. Game 1 of 2 on this Sunday doubleheader to open up CACC play this weekend. Joe Christiana back out there on the bump. We'll face 2, 3, and 4 in the Georgian court lineup. He falls behind 2-0 to Frank Mara. If you're just joining me, Matt Scalzo, glad you could make me a part of your Sunday afternoon. 2-0, buzzes the tower, and leaning out of the way is Mara. He moves ahead 3-0. Christiana has had a very strong day. 5 innings, came into this inning with 74 pitches thrown, just giving up 3 hits and 1 run. Struck out 3 and has walked to nobody. Trying to work backwards here against Mara. The 3-1. Called strike at the top of the zone. And the count runs full to Mara. No shift on in the infield or the outfield as Christiana sets at the belt. Delivers. And Mara chops it foul, third base side. Alex Elliott and Sammy Cruz due up after Mara. And if it gets any further, it'll be Tomas Tarmoga. The payoff pitch. Mara, ground ball, fielded by Alfala at short. Fires on to first. It is high, and the catch is made by Cardona over at first. Able to keep his foot on the bag. And there is 1 gone in the 6th. Five straight Georgian court hitters retired by Christiana. He'll now deal with Alex Elliott. The right fielder swings on the first pitch. He sends this to right field. Sosa is there, and he'll make the catch. Back-to-back flyouts to right for Alex Elliott. 2 quick outs in the top half of the 6th. Sammy Cruz drove in the lone run for Georgian court in the first. An RBI fielder's choice. First pitch right down the gut for a called strike 1. Another strike. Christiana firing these in here. Looking for a 1-2-3 6th. Here comes the 0-2. And the big breaking ball is pulled outside. 1-2. Nobody on base, 2 gone. Christiana has been excellent on the mound so far. The 1-2. Heater is well outside. Count is 2-2. The 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss. Cruz down on strikes. That is the 4th strikeout for Christiana. It's a 1-2-3, top of the 6th. We head to the bottom half. Post up, 3-1. Joe Cristiano worked a 1-2-3 top of the sixth. It flips to the bottom half, and Ryan Bolello still on the mound for Georgian Court. Post with a 3-1 lead in game 1 of 2 on this Sunday afternoon. Eagles took both games yesterday down in New Jersey to open up CACC play. Looking to take the series overall with a win here today in game 1. Eric Perez leads off in the bottom of the sixth. Bolello kicks and deals. First pitch called strike on the outside corner. Through 5 innings, Bolello has given up 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, with a pair of strikeouts and walks. He has thrown 87 pitches. Now, count moves to 1-1. Perez 0 for 2. A strikeout looking in the second and a fly out to left in the fourth. Perez jammed inside, sends his squibbler down the third base side, and that is airmailed into the right field line by Bolello. Perez will advance another 90 feet to second. And that will be an error against Bolello. 2-base error. And that might be the day for Ryan Bolello. And it will be. Making the call to the bullpen is Arlen Freeman. We'll take a quick break, figure out who it is, get you everything you need to know on the new pitcher when we come back on the CACC network. Welcome back to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Waterbury Municipal Stadium on the CACC Network. Matt Scalzo with you. Glad you could make me a part of your Sunday afternoon. Arlen Freeman goes to the bullpen for Georgian Court, and in comes Eli Houston, the 5'10" freshman right-hander out of Florida. He will make his 5th appearance on the year, holds an even 9 ERA through 4 innings pitched. Deals with some traffic on the base paths. First pitch to Dario Sosa is low for ball 1. Through those 4 innings, he's given up 4 runs, all of them earned on 6 hits, 2 strikeouts to 1 walk. Opponents are batting .333 against the freshman righty. 1-0, called strike on the outer half to Sosa, and it's 1-1. Sosa's 1 for 2. Singled his last time up in the fourth, was left stranded over at third with the bases loaded. Eric Perez sits at second after he reached on an error by the previous pitcher, Ryan Bolello, who departs after 5 innings. Gave up 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 7 hits with 2 strikeouts and 2 walks through 90 total pitches in his 5 innings of work. 2-1, Sosa, hard hit ground ball up the middle. Fielded by Reben, he tosses to first, and it's in time for out number 1. Advancing over third goes Perez. And now it's the 9-hitter, Rene Vega, who is 1 for 2 coming up to the dish. Vega, a switch hitter, now shifts over to the lefty's batter's box against the righty in Houston. So Vega looking to bring in Perez, who's 90 feet away, for making it a 3-run game. Houston deals the first pitch strike to Vega. Last time up for Vega, had a nice 2-strike approach. Lifted a blooper to left field on a fastball inside. Count moves to 1-1 as he lays off that breaking ball away. One is a called strike on the inner half to Vega. Back to a similar situation as to where we were 2 innings ago in the fourth. The 1-2 to Vega. Houston goes outside, and Rene Vega watches it go. Vega chokes up the 2-2. Races upstairs. And it's a full count with 1 gone to Rene Vega. Eric Perez over at third. Corners are in for Georgian Court with Oliver Santana at third and Sammy Cruz at first. Payoff pitch. Inside. Ball 4. Vega with excellent plate discipline. Works a 1-out walk. And he reaches base for the second consecutive time. Sets the table for the top of the order in Jesse Alfala. He's reached base every time thus far, all in different ways. A single in the first, reached on an error in the second, or in the third rather. And he scored in both of those times he reached base, and then worked a walk his last time up in the fourth. Snap throw over to first. Vega dimes back in. Double play depth up the middle for Reben and Mara. They turned a 6-4-3 double play back in the fourth inning that ended a threat for post. First pitch to Alfala is up above the letters, 1-0. Throw over to first again, and Vega dives back in. Vega, 5'7" freshman with a whole lot of speed over at first. 1-0 is up and in to Alfala, and it's 2-0. Houston making his second appearance of the week, pitched on the 12th against New Haven. Went 1 inning, giving up 1 run on 2 hits. Finds the inner half on the 2-0 to Alfala. Post looking for some insurance before heading into the final 3 innings. Throw over to first again. Vega back in well ahead of the throw. The 2-1. Alfala jammed inside, sends a towering pop-up on the infield. Mara will make the catch over at second. There are now 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. That's a big second out for Eli Houston. Now looks to get through Damaris Rodriguez. As Post for the second time in 3 innings would leave multiple runners on base. Rodriguez rockets one foul down the left field line, and it's 0-1. Rodriguez is 2 for 3, had a couple of base hits his first 2 times up, and then grounded into the inning-ending 6-4-3 double play with the bases loaded in the 4th. The 0-1. Rodriguez pulls one down the line and right. Long run for Elliott, tracking back, and he makes the over-the-shoulder grab to end the inning. An excellent play out and right by Alex Elliott. And for the 3rd time in 4 innings, Post strands multiple runners on the bases. We head to the 7th. Lions trailing by a pair. It's 3-1 Post on the CACC network. Welcome back to Waterbury Municipal Stadium into the final 3 innings here on the CACC network. It's Post 3, Georgian Court 1. And Post heading to the bullpen in the top of the 7th, Logan Pulatano, coming onto the mound. A righty deals the first pitch ball to Tomas Tarmoga, the left fielder. 5, 6, and 7 up for the Lions of Georgian Court in the 7th. 1-0 is outside from Pulatano, making his 4th appearance of the season, a 4.70 ERA as Tarmoga sends a towering fly ball to shallow right center. Vega moves back onto the outfield grass and makes the catch for out number 1. And as I was saying, for Pulatano, 4 appearances, 4.70 ERA through 7 2/3 innings of work. Has surrendered 5 runs, 4 of them earned on 5 hits, 8 strikeouts to 3 walks. Opponents are batting just .172 against him so far this year. Foul tip off the bat of Israel Garcia. Pulatano, a freshman right-hander out of Beekman, New York, stands at just 5'9", 180 pounds. The 0-1. Garcia on the ground, and he threads the needle through the 5-6 hole, out of reach for a diving Rivera and Alfala. And it's a 1-out base hit for Israel Garcia. He's now 2 for 3 with back-to-back base hits his last 2 times up. Joshua Moreno now steps into the box. Ready on lefty. Fouls off the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Phenomenal afternoon for Joe Christiana in game 1. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run given up, 4 strikeouts, no walks. And his first home start of the year. The first team All-CACC pitcher a year ago and All-Region as well. Settling back into his usual self as conference play has begun. The 1-1. Chopper, third base side, fielded by Rivera. Flips to second for 1. The fire on to first from Vega is in time. A 5-4-3 inning-ending double play by Post to the top of the 7th. Sends us to the bottom half, where we'll see 3, 4, and 5 in the Post order when we come back on the CACC Network. Bottom of the 7th here at Waterbury Bottom of the 7th at Waterbury Municipal Stadium, 3-1, the lead for Post over Georgian Court in Game 1 of today's Sunday doubleheader to wrap up the weekend series. It was a doubleheader yesterday down in New Jersey at Georgian Court. Post took both games. They're looking to take Game 1 and win the series overall to open up CACC play. First pitch to Hayden Roberge. is in for a called strike one. Roberge is 1 for 3. Had an RBI back in the third. Singled his last time up in the fifth. The 0-1 hits him on his lead elbow, and he will head down to first on a free pass. That brings up Justin Rivera. Rivera is 0 for 1, an RBI on a sacrifice fly in the first that tied the game at 1 after Georgian Court jumped ahead. And then Roberge gave the Eagles the lead in the third on an RBI groundout. And then Jalen Kelly's solo home run in the fourth has us where we are. That's the last run to be plated. As Rivera falls behind 0-1. Eli Houston still on the mound, heading out for his second inning of work. He snaps a throw over to first, and Roberge dives back in ahead of the tag. Roberge 0 for 2 with stolen bases this season. Rivera fouls off the 0-1 and falls behind 0-2. Rivera riding a 3-game hit streak. All of them have been multi-hit games. He's also got an RBI now in 4 of his last 5 games. 0-2, Rivera sends it into right field. Long run for Elliott charging in. He slides and he makes the grab. What a play by Alex Elliott. Had a long run from right field. Came charging all the way down and slid down to one knee to make that catch. And sends Rivera back to the dugout. Roberge had to scramble back to first. It was an in-between play. Whether Elliott was going to come up with that or not was unknown. And so now with one gone, Michael Cardona steps in the box. Cuts and misses on a high heater from Houston. Few nice plays from the right fielders today. Dario Sosa made a nice backhanded running grab. Elliott made an over-the-shoulder grab to end the bottom of the 6th with 2 runners on, and now he makes that sliding grab here for the first out in the bottom of the 7th. And a balk is called, sending Roberge over to second. So Houston settles back in on the bump. Roberge over at second in scoring position with Michael Cardona up to bat. Cardona takes outside, and the count evens at 1-1 with 1 gone. Cardona came into today riding a 6-game hitting streak. He is 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts. The 1-1. Called strike on the outer half. Standing on deck is the home run hitter in Jalen Kelly. Here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball nearly dropped back in and caught the inner half. That one started basically at the lead shoulder of Cardona and then snapped back in, nearly catching that inside corner. Count evened up at 2-2 with that last ball. Houston checks the run over at second, comes home. Fastball brushes high and inside. And count runs full with 1 gone. A payoff pitch. And Cardona fights it off with a foul ball down the right field line. Home plate umpire Patrick Burns asking for more baseballs when there is a moment. Houston looks over at Roberge. Back to the batter, the 3-2. Cardona lifts it in the air. Long run for Elliott, and he will run out of room as it lands out of play. Post took game 1, 14-4. Game 2 yesterday, 5-4 in 7 innings. They're up 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th here in game 3. Another payoff pitch. And once again, Cardona with a foul ball on the first base side. Another payoff pitch. Cardona this time lines it over the head of a leaping Sammy Cruz and into right field. Motoring around third. Coming in is Roberge, and he will score standing up. An RBI single from Michael Cardona. Extends his hitting streak to 7 games and gives Post a 4-1 lead. That was a 9-pitch at-bat. And on the 9th pitch, Michael Cardona was able to work it the other way and just get it over the head of a leaping first baseman and Sammy Cruz. Picks up his 5th RBI of the season. And Jalen Kelly now steps back into the righty's batter's box. 1 for 3 with that solo home run in the 4th inning, sandwiched in between a couple of flyouts. Along with extending his hitting streak to 7 games, Cardona now has a 3-game RBI streak to go along with it. As that one is thrown away by Houston, they'll scamper down the right field line, and Cardona digging on his way to third. And the throw comes in late. And Cardona goes from first to third, and the big guy needs to catch his breath a little bit. Second time we've seen an error from the Georgian court pitching staff. We saw a 2-base error in the 6th from Ryan Bolello that ended up leading to him being pulled from the game. And there Kelly with a soft line drive caught by Carter Reben at short. Puts 2 away with Eric Perez coming up. Seems to be an issue with the pitch comm for Houston. He's looking to the dugout, looking at his wrist, saying, I don't know what the call is. Steps off the mound, gets his reset. First pitch comes into Perez, and it is low and away for ball 1. Houston comes back in with a fastball in the zone, and it's 1-1. Post looking to put up its first crooked number of the afternoon. It's all been single tallies in the 1st, 3rd, 4th, and now in the 7th. So that drops back into the zone, and it's 1-2 to Perez. The 1-2 is poked foul down the right field line. Perez is 0 for 3. Struck out looking his first time up in the 2nd, then flew out to left in the 4th. Reached on an error in the 6th. The 1-2. Perez drives it. Left center field gap, and it'll split the gap. Cardona will score. Perez was thinking about 2, then slams on the brakes as he's halfway around first. Comes back to the bag and adds an RBI to his day, bringing in Cardona. It's now 5-1 Post. On the RBI single from Eric Perez. That's his 5th RBI of the season. And Post putting up its first crooked number of the afternoon with 2 runs in the 7th. Dario Sosa now comes up to bat. The right fielder is 1 for 3 on the afternoon in game 1. Swings on a 1-0, and this is popped up out of play on the first base side. Sosa's had a nice day defensively out and right. Had a phenomenal play on a backhanded grab out in right center field to end the top of the 3rd, where Alex Elliott was thinking extra bases and potentially a run coming in to score. But before Sosa made the long run and snagged his fly ball on the backhand to end the inning. As he's ahead 2-1 as that last pitch came inside. 2-1. Sosa swings out of his shoes and catches a piece on the foul tip. It's 2-2. Perez with a 2-step lead over at first, held on to by Cruz. 2-2 from Houston. Breaking ball comes back inside, freezes Sosa, and he goes down looking on Houston's first strikeout of the afternoon. Strands Perez over at first, but the damage was done. A pair of RBI singles. One from Michael Cardona and the second from Eric Perez. It's 5-1 Post as we head into the 8th on the CACC network. Into the 8th inning here at Waterbury Municipal Stadium. 5-1 lead for Post. They added 2 runs in the bottom half of the 7th on RBI singles from Michael Cardona and Eric Perez. And the lead has blossomed up to 4 for Post, looking for 6 more outs to take game 1 of this Sunday afternoon doubleheader and win the series overall against Georgian Court to open up CACC play. Logan Politano back out on the mound for the Eagles. First pitch ball is up high to Larry Rodriguez. 8-9-1 due up for Georgian Court in the top of the 8th. If you're just joining me, Matt Scalzo, glad you could make me a part of your Sunday afternoon. An overcast and cloudy afternoon. Started foggy and rainy, but the weather has cleared up just a little bit, hoping to get both of these games in on this doubleheader. As Politano gets in the zone and works the count to 2-1 against Rodriguez, who is 0 for 2. It's a chopper to Rivera, and now Rodriguez is 0 for 3 on the 5-3 putout. 1 gone in the 8th. Politano worked an unconventional 1-2-3 inning in his first inning of work in the 7th. Forced a pop out, then gave up a single to Israel Garcia before Justin Rivera kick-started a 5-4-3 double play of Joshua Moreno to end the inning. Now the 9-hitter in Santana steps up. First pitch swing for him. Nice play on the backhand by Cardona at first. He'll take it to the bag himself. And that's 2 quick outs. Back to the top of the order in Carter Reben. He's 0 for 2 with the run scored, lone run scored for Georgian Court, which came in the top of the first inning. Came in on an RBI and fielder's choice off the bat of Sammy Cruz. Since then, a strikeout and a ground out for Reben. Takes a first pitch ball from Politano. Georgian Court, that's first season as a varsity program in the CACC. Still searching for its first conference win of the year after dropping both games in yesterday's doubleheader. Post taking game 1 14-4 and then game 2 5-4 in 7 innings. Second game today will also be 7 innings again. 1-1 is high to Reben, and it's 2-1. The Lions just 1-9 overall on the season. They got their lone win against the College of Staten Island on March 4th. A 16-8 win for the Lions as Reben jammed inside. Lifts a 2-1 to shallow right field. Vega calls everyone off. He'll make the grab. And that concludes a 1-2-3 top of the 8th for Politano. We head to the bottom half. 5-1 Post in front on the CACC network. Rene Vega to lead off in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Post in front 5-1, and going back to the bullpen is Georgian Court and Arlen Freeman. And comes out Ryan Basham, a junior junior left-hander out of East Brunswick, New Jersey. Will make his 4th appearance on the year, holds a 10.80 ERA through 3 1/3 innings pitched. Deals a breaking ball that breaks into the zone and goes ahead against Vega, 0-1. Through his 3 1/3 innings pitched, he's given up 5 runs, 4 earned on 5 hits, a couple of strikeouts and a pair of walks. Opponents are batting .313 against Basham, as Vega evens up the count at 1-1. Basham's last appearance came against Lynn on the 11th. It was his second of 2 appearances on the 11th after pitching against Bentley earlier. Against Lynn, he went 1 1/3 innings, gave up no hits, 1 run allowed. It was unearned and struck out 1. Against Bentley, he went 1 inning, giving up 2 runs, both earned on 3 hits with a walk and no strikeouts. The 1-2 to Vega. Fouls it off. That closes the book on Eli Houston, who threw 41 total pitches through 2 innings, gave up 2 runs. One of them earned on 2 hits with a strikeout and a walk. The 1-2. Vega takes outside, and the count evens at 2-2. Vega 1 for 2 rather today. Had a single back in the 4th, lined out his first time up, and then worked a walk his last time up at the 6th. The 2-2. Late swing from Vega. Catches a foul ball. The 2-2. A check defensive swing from Vega. Forces another foul ball. And Basham having to work in his first batter face. Jesse Alfala on the top of the order awaits on deck. The 2-2. Vega, comebacker up the middle, fielded by Reben on a couple of hops. On the move, fires to first, and it's in time for out number 1. Brings up Jesse Alfala, the shortstop, who is 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Had a single in the first, reached on an error in the 3rd, walked in the 4th, and then popped out to second in the 6th. He was the one to come across home on the first 2 runs for Post in the 1st and in the 3rd. Takes a first pitch ball down low from Basham. One-0 breaking ball, catches the outside corner. Here comes the 1-1. Called strike again, this one burning the outside edge from Basham. And he's ahead 1-2 against Alfala, who has come into the shortstop spot, which has been a rotating door of sorts. Injuries have given Alfala the chance at the shortstop spot. As that 1-2, just a touch outside. Israel Garcia holding that frame as best he could, but Patrick Burns said, nope, that's ball 2. And the count is evened. As Alfala jammed inside, shoots it the other way, straight to Mara at second. He'll flip on to first, and there's 2 away in the bottom half of the 8th. Damaris Rodriguez now steps up. He is 2 for 4 today. A couple of singles in the 1st and the 3rd, then grounded into a double play in the 4th, and flew out to right in the 6th. Takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Post scored 2 runs in the 7th. A couple of RBI singles, one from Michael Cardona and Eric Perez that built up that lead, gave the Eagles pitching staff some insurance. Looking for 3 more outs in the top half of the 9th when after this half inning, as Rodriguez will send us there as he chops one to Mara, who fires to first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Basham as we head to the 9th. Post looking for 3 more outs to take game 1 and to win the series overall against Georgian Court when we come back on the CACC Network. Into the top of the ninth inning, post 5, Georgian Court 1 in Game 1 of today's Sunday afternoon doubleheader on the CACC Network. If you're just joining me, Matt Scalzo, glad you can make me a part of your Sunday afternoon. Logan Politano looking for the save here in the top of the ninth inning, post up by 4 runs, but he's heading into his third inning of work. Joe Christiana in position for the win after going 6 innings, just giving up the 1 run. With 4 strikeouts. Politano heading into his second inning of work has just given up 1 hit. And he deals in a first pitch strike to Frank Mara, who leads off in the top of the ninth. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Lions. Mara 2 for 3, a couple of base hits in the first and the third, and then grounded out his last time up. Chops one to Rivera at third, fires on the first, and there's 1 gone. So Mara drops to 2 for 4 on the day. Now brings up Alex Elliott, a right fielder, who is 0 for 3. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first, then flew out to right his last 2 times up in the third and in the sixth. First pitch from Politano is upstairs, ball 1. And Politano comes back, makes it 1-1. That's a ground ball back up the middle by Elliott into center field. It's a 1-out base hit for Alex Elliott, his first of the afternoon. Sammy Cruz now comes up, has an RBI fielder's choice in the first, and since then a fly out to right and a strikeout his last time up in the sixth. It was the last batter to face Joe Christiana. And then Logan Politano came in the seventh. First pitch to Cruz is inside for ball 1. The 1-0 from Politano. Fastball right down the chute, 1-1. The 1-1 is grounded foul by Cruz. Count moves to 1-2. One and two with 1 gone. Elliott over at first, held on to by Cardona. The 1-2. Cruz up the middle. Stepped on second for 1, on to first, and Alfala ends it with a 6-3 double play. And Post gets the win in Game 1, 5-1. Game 2 coming up in a little while. Eagles scored in the first, third, fourth, and seventh. They put up a pair. Joe Christiana gets the win, and Logan Politano gets the save, and was a complete team victory in Game 1. And the Eagles open up their home slate with a win as well, and improved to 3-0 in CACC play. They win the series overall. Doesn't even matter what the result is of Game 4 coming up in a little while from Waterbury Municipal Stadium. But that'll do it for Game 1. Post winners 5-1. We'll be back for Game 2 in a little while here on the CACC Network.